Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 20, Social Differentiation Among Tribes, we are continuing our topic Social Differentiation Among Tribes. And subtopic is Social Differentiation by Sex. The most elementary basis for social classification is based on the biological division of human beings into male and female. Every society has some form of division of roles based on sex. A woman is generally expected to engage most of her labor and time in domestic affairs. This is mainly so for the fact that women bear and suckle children and nurture them. As we observe in many societies, women are generally expected to perform lighter works while leaving the heavier works to men, as men are considered to be physically stronger than women. However, some of these observations could be wrong, for there are some societies where women even outdo men in performing heavy duties, while men remain as consumers and dependents of women in many areas of existence. In subsistence agricultural society, where people get their food and other needs by their labor from their immediate environment, women have a large share of work of agriculture and domestic roles. Women rear children and nurture them, perform household chores such as cooking and serving them to the family members, pounding of paddy, etc., collect water and firewood, carry out clearing and tilting of land ground, plant sapling and weed them, harvest and carry the produce of their granaries. They are also engaged in the growing vegetables and crops, usually in the nearby house and courtyards. Some women also sell their horticultural and agricultural produce in the nearby market or in the village markets. Thus, a woman is found to engage all the time in one work or the other throughout the day and throughout the year. The workload is heavy indeed. Men are expected to perform heavier works which are generally done outside home, such as warfare, hunting, fishing, and herding cattle. Nearer home, they are also engaged in many roles such as cutting firewood, plowing agricultural field, clearing jungles for jhum cultivation, and doing irrigation canals. Men are also engaged in carpentry works, trade and commerce. At home, men carry out jural authority that concerns with rights and obligations. Men are the policy and law makers in the village. They are also decision makers of the village. This tradition also protocolates down to the level of the family, where husbands exercise authority in the family and is expected to be decision maker of the family. Men also run the administration of the village. A woman by virtue of her sex is not supposed to be part of the village council or administration. The role of the men and women also overlap in many areas of labor. For example, women also do fishing in river. They also engage in clearing of jungles for jhum cultivation. Women also participate in doing irrigation canals. Likewise, men also carry firewood and participate in plantation and harvest. Among Apart from such social differentiations, we also observe in many tribal societies segregation of members on the basis of the sex. For instance, among the Tangkul Nagas located in northeast India and northwestern Myanmar, there is a tradition of youth dormitory system for boys and girls known as Mayarlong and the Shanulong. Now let us move to the next point, social differentiation by age. All society have some division of their population on the basis of age. This is due to the fact that every individual does not have the same physical and mental strength and maturity at a given point of time. There are phases of the human development, from childhood to adulthood and again to old age phase. A child will not be able to perform what is expected of an adult member. In the same way, an aged person does not have the physical strength to carry out the tasks that are expected of an adult member. In this sense, one finds the idea of dependency of the children and the aged member on the adult members. Among the tribes, by and large, there is a process of the phases of life. A child has to undergo certain rituals to enter into the next stage of life, that is, adulthood. The ritual basically means for formal recognition of the boys and girls by the community for taking up the role of an adult according to the customs and traditions of the society. Such rituals is generally known as rites of passage or rites de passage. We have finest cases of age group differentiation among Nagas. We shall see age and sex based on grouping among the Nagas. There are almost similar systems found among other Indian tribes as well. In many societies, marriage during adulthood stage is another important phase of life. A married person is expected, among others, by the society to perform certain roles and expectations that are not obligatory or entitled to his age group members who are unmarried. Among the Nagas, a person becomes eligible for a membership in the village council by virtue of his marriage. Let us move to the next point, that is social differentiation by rank and hierarchy. In the tribal world, there are practices of recognizing certain members and families by way of heredity. They are ascribed status on the basis of descent. This concept of differentiation is known as the rank system or ranking system. The notion refers to a kind of hierarchy in the society where certain lines of descent are considered as superior to others and are entitled to certain respects, status, and privileges. In many societies, members of the higher rank are regarded as the royal families, and those in the lower rank are commoners. But there may be still be hierarchical order even among the commoners. Among the Nagas, by and large, the chief of the village was regarded as having the highest status. He is also entitled with certain privileges apart from being the head of the village, such as free and voluntary service of the villagers to help in cultivation of agriculture or construction of residential house from time to time. Again, even among the families of a clan or phratry, there are ranking of family on the basis of the seniority of the descendants. The Konyak Nagas is an apt example of a social ranking system. Such kind of ranking is also found among the Bhutias and the Tharas of the sub-Himalayan region, the And of the Andhra Pradesh, and so on. Among the Tharas, the community is divided into the two sections, the higher and the lower. Higher section has several endogamous subdivisions called kuris. The five Kuris, namely Batha, Bitya, Dahatiya, Badvit, and the Mehatam, consider themselves superior to the other groups of the Tharu community. The groups even restrict themselves from intermarriage and interdining. The Andh of Andhra Pradesh also have the notion of hierarchical order within the community. Of the two sub-tribe divisions, namely Vartati and Khaltati, the former consider themselves superior to the latter. The two groups also restrain from intermarriage. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.